For this demo, we'll be going over network master data requirements to schedule, durations, relationships, and the impacts to plans versus actual reports. So what we'll do first is we need to go through and make sure that one of our scheduling factors, because we're not scheduling here yet, and there's one way to schedule that your system might have defaulted, and it's automatic scheduling. So we'll go down to our network headers. And we want to make sure that if our schedule automatically radio box is on, we want them empty. We do not want a check mark in those boxes. So we'll go to each of our three network headers and make sure that's not there. If it is there, go back to the top and make sure we save our project without them checked. Reopen. Expand your project and double check that that's not there. Next, what we'll do is we'll open an alternative session. So you go up here and you can create new session. And you click on that, and you're going to go up to your command Q and you're going to enter CN41N. It's a structure report that you'll be running. And I've already managed my report, managed a layout, and I've already put a few hours and durations, which we'll be getting to in our projects. So my first initial report will look slightly different than yours. Yours should have nothing in any of these lines over here. You won't have durations. You won't have work hours. You'll have dates over there, but that should be it. And you won't have work or your work centers. We'll be getting to that. I left a few of them blank so that I could show you the changes. Observe these lines with 4 empty and nothing in them yet. We'll go through those. You'll be adding stuff to all of your activities that are within your WBS elements. So we've got this run. You'll notice the fields that you do or don't have over here. And we can switch to our other session, which is Project Builder, and that's where we'll be maintaining those different aspects of our activities. So one thing you'll also need to do, which I should probably tell you while you're in here, is your screen might initially look a little bit different than mine. You're going to need to go manage your layout. You'll have to select your layout. You'll have to change your layout. And while in here, you'll have to go in and put in some display columns, and you'll pull them from over here. You'll have to empty this side out by using your arrows. Highlight one of your one of the columns would be an identification column, and hit your arrow to move it over. What you're going to need in there is you're going to need your identification, which is the guts to your project, the WBS elements, networks, network headers, and activities. You're going to need your basic start date, your actual start date, your basic finish date, your actual finish date, actual work, duration, actual duration, work, and work center. You'll notice that there's some extra boxes that are unit of work or unit of duration. Those will automatically fill. Once you're there, that's when you'll actually see the differences in yours versus mine. Again, I managed mine just to save some time in this presentation. So I'm back at my project builder, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to navigate to our first network. We're going to highlight our first network activity. So that would be drive shaft. That's our activity. So your networks are constructed of a series of activities that are defined by duration and relationship, and that's what I was showing you in the structure report. These activities are defined by their duration and relationship. So that's what we'll be establishing here. So in the work area over on the right side of your screen, for each of your network activities, you'll need to fill in data fields such as your work center, your work, your plant. Your plant is a required field, your unit of work, your normal duration, and your unit for your duration. Your work center is just a logistical unit that defines where and when an operation must be performed. Your work is the amount of work involved in performing the activity. And the normal duration is actually the length of time it takes to complete the activity. So those are what we'll be maintaining, and you'll have to go through and do this for each one. So first we're going to go up and we're going to maintain our work center. And what you can do here is your plant probably says 1000 in it. You can use your Dropbox. And the one that we're going to be using for this is going to be our 9999. And then our work center, you can do the same thing. And you can jump in and you'll see that that work center's in there. I'll be using my spacebar. This is your work. These are going to be, again, just the amount of work involved in performing the activity. So our units are hours, so each one will be maintaining. We'll say 10 hours. Or, nope, sorry about that. We'll say 40 hours. And then we'll need to maintain, you might need to maintain your units, but they might default in. Our normal duration will maintain for 10 days. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to maintain those 4 fields or those 6 fields for each of your activities all the way through the bottom. I'll run through and get those done. If you already have a history of what you've put in there, you can just use your space bar to drop the information you want to put into the fields. And again, I'm only going to have to do these 4. You're going to have to go through all of your activities to do it. So last one for me here. You're going to have to continue on and do it for your electronics, your power, fire extinguishers, bilge pumps, and so on and so forth. So we've gotten that far. We've maintained it for each. Remember that when you're maintaining, when you're doing what you're doing is maintaining the relationships and durations for your activities. And your activities are what comprise your networks. So once you've added your work center, your plant, your work units, normal duration, units of duration to each of the activities in your project, we're going to go ahead and move on from there and save our work. So we've saved it. We can reopen it. One thing we can do is we can double check and make sure nothing's been scheduled. Our schedule automatically is turned off. Next, what we'll do is we'll reopen our other session, which has got our structure report within it. And if you have your layout set up and maintained, you can just simply hit refresh. And you'll have to go ahead and expand your project again. And you'll notice here where mine has changed. I've gotten hours, and I've also gotten duration. And it's also updated my work centers for those 4. Yours should have updated all of these, and so on and so forth with your network headers and your networks or your WBS elements that are directly above. So next what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our project. So just navigate to your project builder screen that you reopened. And we're going to establish relationships between the activities on our projects with the network graphic. So now that we're here, we'll go up to the top and you'll notice that our network graphic icon is right here. And it's not highlighted, it's grayed out. What you need to do is you need to be down on a network header and you'll notice that it's opened up for us to use. So we'll choose our network icon, our network graphic icon, and you'll come into here and you can manipulate this screen so you can see all of your network headers. You'll just click down here and it'll give you that view, and you can open your view up so you can see all of your network activities there, and it should appear similar to mine by now. If it's not, you can manipulate your networks by simply clicking on them, and you'll get this, and you can move them around. You can was just going to move that, but you can move the whole box around. You can move your actual units within the box and slide them around. But what you want to make sure is that you're just following a similar order to what I've got. Your screen looks similar to mine. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and establish some relationships between your activities. So we're going to choose our connect icon right here. And you're going to get a pin. And there's 4 types of relationships which you can utilize. The directions you've gone through with the document will actually show you that after you've gone through this. Those are the document that you'll be following to complete this activity. There's a finish start, which is FS. There's a finish. there's a start finish, and there's a start start. Using this connect icon, we'll go ahead and simulate a few of the series of connection paths that are pictured in the document you'll be following on your activities in the network graphic. We'll go ahead and establish some relationships between our activities here. So on this first one, we'll go ahead and establish a finish start relationship with this second one out here. So we go from the very end of the first activity to the start of the one we want to connect it to. So on and so forth, we'll make some finish starts and some start starts for this actual demo. So we'll start here from the second one, and we'll make this a start or a finish start also. That's meaning that we have to finish this activity before we can start this activity. Do that here. And then we'll tell this one that these other activities that are under different network headers can go ahead and start at the same time as the first one. So we'll go start start. And then also from the first one, we'll drop down and we'll go start start to the third one. So you'll notice our relationships here. This one comes down, goes out, we've got a start start there. It comes out, it goes all the way down, and we've got a start start there. So these three can start at the same time. This one will connect to there and do a finish start. And then we'll do two more finish starts here. One thing you can note here is if you zero in a little bit, or you can just see, is our dates are still the same on here. So 3/3/2014, 3/12/2014, 3/3, 3/12, 3/3, 3/12. That means nothing has been scheduled yet. They're all lined up to start at the same time. Now when we back out of this screen, you'll be asked if you want to save your nodes, and we'll go ahead and choose yes. So we'll back out, we'll choose yes. We've got our project, now we need to save our work. We'll go ahead and finish by running our structure report again. We can just hit refresh. And you'll notice other dates have been added here, but they're all starting and ending on the same days. So the results of this demo, we've added duration to our project by maintaining a work center, a plant, a work, and units of work, duration, and units of duration. We've utilized the network graphic and its internal connect tool to establish relationships between all of our activities. We ran structure report CN41 multiple times to observe the impacts that the changes we made on the project were having in active reports, and we're seeing the changes in real time. And also we went through, and just to review where we were at on the project and with some of the content within here, is down on your activities. We went through and looked at our networks, and our networks are a series of activities defined by relationships and duration. We looked at work centers. They are logical units that define where and when an operation must be performed. We noticed the difference between work and duration, and work is the amount of work involved in performing the activity, and the duration is the actual length of time it takes to complete that activity.